Good evening and welcome. We are starting this bulletin with the focus being on G20. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be representing India at the 16th G20 summit in Rome. This will be the 8th G20 summit that Prime Minister Modi will be attending. Now, representing aspirations of the developing world, Prime Minister Modi is expected to discuss a range of issues from combating challenges of climate change to pitching for a global approach in dealing with the situation in Afghanistan. And ahead of the visit, Indian Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla informed that Prime Minister Modi will be in Rome from the 29th of October to the 31st. Now, the Indian Prime Minister is also expected to meet Pope Francis in Rome and hold bilaterals with other world leaders at the G20, including with Italian Prime Minister Mario Draghi. During the two-day visit, Prime Minister Modi is also expected to focus on the economic recovery and growth after COVID-19 pandemic.
Upcoming summit will be on economic and health recovery, climate change and sustainable development. We are now close to the second year of our dealing with the pandemic. Obviously, the devastation it has caused cannot be overstated. It is therefore not surprising that the Italian presidency has kept its focus on recovery and, of course, economic and health recovery both.
Italy has been holding the presidency of G20 since December last year. G20 is a leading global forum that brings together the world's major economies. Last year, the summit was hosted by Saudi Arabia, and this year's theme under the Italian presidency is centered around people, planet, and prosperity. The Indian Ministry of External Affairs has further confirmed that India is scheduled to host the G20 summit in 2023 for the first time. From Rome, Prime Minister Modi will travel to Glasgow to attend COP26 Climate Summit. The summit is being held from the 31st of October to the 12th of November. Prime Minister Modi will be attending the Climate Summit at the invitation of his British counterpart, Boris Johnson. Now, he'll be addressing the Leaders' Summit in Glasgow on Monday, and along with UK Prime Minister Johnson, Prime Minister Modi will jointly launch the ambitious transnational solar grid initiative.
To joining you for this important occasion, the kind invitation of my friend Prime Minister Modi. Alas,
in India, our own traditional ethos promotes living in harmony with nature, values sustainable lifestyles. It forms an important part of our comprehensive approach to the COP26. Despite our huge developmental challenges, we are taking ambitious action on expanding clean and renewable energy efficiency, afforestation and biodiversity. Today, India is creating new records in collective effort for climate adaptation, mitigation and resilience, and forging multilateral alliances.
Prime Minister Modi is also scheduled to hold bilateral meetings on the sidelines of COP26, including one with UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson. The COP26 summit is being hailed as one of the biggest ever congregations of world leaders and experts in combating climate change.
We are here at the eternal city of Rome as it prepares for the 16th G20 summit. We will track the Colosseum of diplomacy as it prepares for the gathering of the world's most powerful leaders. The focus of this premium forum is three broad agendas: people, planet and prosperity. We will be at the heart of action, bringing you minute-to-minute coverage of G20 summit from Rome, only on WION.
Now, our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhan Sibal, is joining us live from Rome. Good evening to you, Siddhan. Thanks for being with us. Now, Prime Minister Modi is expected to discuss a range of issues, including combating the challenges of climate change. What are some of the other items on the agenda that Prime Minister Modi will be discussing?
Well, yes, Alison, I'm just standing outside the G20 venue here in Rome, the Italian capital. And this will be the venue that will be buzzing with activity over the weekend when the 16th G20 summit takes place, in which the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also be participating. This will be his third visit abroad amidst the COVID pandemic after his visit to Bangladesh and United States. But talking about the key focus areas for India, number one, it will be the COVID crisis and how to deal with it. The Indian side, of course, is expected to talk about the vaccination program India has taken, and over 1 billion people now being vaccinated in India. But other than that, we know when it comes to the global architecture, the health architecture, that will be the focus, the reformation of health architecture to deal with future such pandemics. Other than that, it is the climate change that has been a cause of worry for the world, and the leaders will be gathering together to make sure that there is consensus formation ahead of the Glasgow climate meeting that also begins over the weekend in United Kingdom. But specifically, if we talk about India's agenda, we know that Indian Prime Minister has been using the occasion to give proposals. This is his 8th G20 summit in which he is participating since 2014. And if we talk about the first G20 summit in which he participated in 2014, it was in Brisbane, Australia. He essentially gave the proposals to fight black money, and that proposal really was something that caught on when it comes to the G20 grouping. And that is why this time as well, it is expected that there will be new proposals from the Indian side on dealing with the global issues, specifically when it comes to Afghanistan.
Absolutely, Siddhant, and you touched on it. We know that Prime Minister Modi will be attending that COP26 summit in Glasgow. What are we expecting from the Prime Minister in his address there?
Well, the key focus area will be what India has been doing when it comes to fighting the climate change. One, of course, a lot of things India has been doing when it comes to renewables, and India's commitment is something that has been lauded by the global leadership. Second, of course, the initiatives India has been taking. One, of course, is the International Solar Alliance. It is an India-led initiative that really has been popularized globally as well, in terms of more and more countries participating in it. The latest, of course, has been Israel. And basically what International Solar Alliance does is to use or harness the energy of sun for clean energy. So these are the things India is expected to highlight. But we know that there are issues, especially when it comes to climate financing. Developing world is keen that the developed world does more financing of green projects across the world, and that remains a thing that, of course, has been an area that can see lot of tiff between the developed and the developing world. But largely this is something that is decisive in terms of how the world fights against the scourge of climate change.
Absolutely, Siddhant. Thank you very much for joining us, and you will, of course, be keeping us up to date with all the latest coming out of the G20.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.